In this video, you're going to be learning how to get your motivation for poker back. This is one of the most common questions I get asked via email and social media. Players asking me, Adam, how do I get remotivated for poker? I used to be super driven, super motivated, but these days I struggle to put my volume in, I struggle to put my grinding hours in, and it feels like a bit of a chore. So for you guys who are struggling with motivation, who have motivation problems, this video is for you, and I'm going to show you exactly how to get back on track and rekindle that motivation. So a few days ago, I had a coaching call with a client, and he had this exact same problem. And he was coming to me going, Adam, I'm really lowly motivated right now. What do I do? So I'm going to show you the process I went through with him to get him to rediscover what was missing and get his motivation back. And hopefully it'll kindle some ideas for you guys on how to get your own motivation back and get going in the right direction. So first of all, we start the conversation with him saying, Adam, I'm lowly motivated. So as I dug deeper, I was going, what is it about poker that has you being lowly motivated? And it sounded like he'd been playing 10 years, and it sounded like he was getting towards the end of his poker career in his own head. And in 2 years' time, he planned on moving away from poker and actually going to film school and doing some completely creative and out of his usual bracket, but something he thought about doing for a long time. So he'd already committed to that in his head. However, he realized the next 2 years of poker, he was going to be playing full time, they were crucial because he needed to make enough money to make his next projects, next dreams more comfortable and to make them a reality. So he knew that he needed to rekindle his love for poker, but something was missing. So I started asking him, why do you currently play poker? And the first response was, because that's what I've done for the last 10 years and it makes me money. Okay, sounds super motivating. Not. So then I was going, well, why? I started digging a bit deeper. So what is it about poker that currently excites you? And his response was, I guess just the money, just making money, but I've been playing 10 years and making more money isn't that exciting right now. So I can see very quickly, boom, alarm bells are going off. We've got him playing because he thinks he has to. He's playing just for the money, and he's lost that kind of love for the game. So I can see a big problem. So I asked a different question, which he wasn't expecting. And I was like, why don't you quit poker today and go straight for your other things that interest you? Why don't you just quit poker right here, right now? And he's like, oh, well, I can't really do that because I need the money. And I was like, okay, you need the money. Okay, so you need a little bit of financial security. But could you make money doing other things? And he's like, yeah, I could probably get a job, I could do this. And I was like, would that be scary for you to move away from poker to do something else? And he was saying to me a little bit, but he'd get on with it and life would go on. So I could see like money wasn't the reason. It wasn't because he'd done poker for a long time, it was creating like obviously a little bit of tension. But I wanted him to first realize, okay, you're playing poker right now, not because you need to, but because you want to. It's a conscious choice. A lot of poker players who lose motivation at some point end up almost in like a self-isolated prison. Like, I'm playing poker because I have to. What else could I possibly do? I'm a poker player. And I like players to stop and go, you know what? You've got options. You can do anything. You're playing poker because you want to, because you think it's a good career path, because you're progressing and you make good money playing. But if for any reason you don't want to, you can walk away. It's like when you look at like good negotiators, the best negotiators are the ones who are willing to walk away from the table with no deal. It's the same with like yourself with motivation. Like, you've got to be willing to go, okay, I'm playing because it's a choice and it's not a prison sentence. No one's putting a gun to my head going, play poker or it's game over. You're making a conscious choice. Now, even that realization puts you back in control. You're like, okay, well, I do have options, and you can, if you want to go further, if you're really not enjoying poker, you can start exploring those other options, exploring what other things you could do, things that would excite you more than poker. But just knowing you've got a choice is the first part. Then you bring it back and go, okay, well, why am I lowly motivated? So this guy I was working with, we talked about, he'd been playing poker for a long time, and now he was only motivated to make money. His only goal was make money, so he's in a comfortable position a few years from now. And I was like, okay, what's your current relationship with money? Does it really excite you? And his answer was no. He said, I've made a lot of money in my career, and right now I'm making a bit more money, doesn't really excite me. I was like, awesome, we've got the problem really highlighted now. Now we need to start going towards solutions. Okay, so we've got lowly motivated, been playing poker a long time. Let's start digging a bit deeper and start to realize how you can rekindle the motivation, or option B, walk away from poker, if that needs to be done. So then I started asking him, okay, when was the last time you were really motivated? And he went back, he said he was motivated about a year ago. About a year ago, he was really motivated, and I asked him what was going on then. He said, oh, I was playing really good, I was making loads of money, I felt like I was progressing at a fast pace, and I felt like I was going to reach my full potential as a poker player. I was like, awesome. I was like, what happened? When did it stop? When did you stop enjoying poker? And then he said about 6 months ago, he noticed that he wasn't enjoying as much, and around that time, coincidentally or not, his results started to get worse. He went on a bit of a downswing, then he went on a bit of a break-even streak, and he hasn't really recovered over the last 3-4 months from that break-even losing streak. And that kind of streak cost him his confidence. He lost a bit of confidence in his progression, and because he wasn't making money, which was his main goal, he started to lose sight of why he was playing poker. I'm not even making money. What's the point of this? So I got him to go a bit further back in time. So I was like, okay, we understand like when you're playing well and things are going well, you really enjoy poker. That was a year ago. But the last 6 months, results haven't gone good and you haven't enjoyed it. So we can see there's a big input, big focus on results. Results going well, I'm happy. Results going bad, I'm unhappy. So we've got too much attachment to the extrinsic results, okay? So then I started to go, okay, let's zoom back, way back in time. Why did you start poker? And then he started to get excited again. He started to go, oh, well, when I first started poker, it was really exciting, learn a new game. It was really exciting about making more money. And then I asked him, what was your biggest goal when you started poker? Was it financial? Was it achievements? And his answer was the key to everything. So if you take nothing away, listen to this bit. He said, I started poker because I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the best player I could be. So we got into, that was his real reason. And then I asked him a question, a powerful kind of extension of that. I went, when did you stop wanting to be the best? And he said, I didn't stop wanting to be the best. And I go, yeah, you did. You stopped wanting to be the best at least a few years ago. When did you stop wanting to be the best? And he started to see that basically what had happened is he got into poker, wanted to be the best player he could be, wanted to improve, wanted to learn, and that was a big part of his identity. But recently, especially the last 6 months or so, he had decided that poker wasn't going to be the long-term vehicle for him and that his interests lay elsewhere in creative pursuits like going into film school. And at some point, he subconsciously went, because I'm only going to be playing poker for a few years, it's pointless focusing on trying to be the best. It's pointless focusing on trying to be the best. Let's just make some money. What happens with your motivation in that moment? Can you picture yourself being that guy who was motivated to be the best, and then he switched that motive subconsciously just for money? And we already identified that money wasn't a good drive for him. Money didn't get him jumping out of bed and excited, but wanting to be the best did. So I started questioning, going, why can't you still be the best? Why can't you be the best player you could possibly can be for the next few years? What stops you? And then he started to get excited again. I could see his eyes starting to light up, and he was like, yeah, like I do want to be the best. And I started to get him to expand. I was going, why is being the best important to you? And he started telling me about his childhood, and when he was younger, everything he did, he was very competitive, whether it was sports, computer games, he wanted to be the best. He wanted to be the best version of himself. And his identity, his belief system of himself, I'm somebody who wants to be the best at everything I do. So then I started questioning him, going, okay, let's say for the next 2 years, you just plod along with poker. You don't push yourself, you just go for the motions that you have been recently. How do you think that's going to affect you when you go to film school or do your next things? Do you think that's going to have a good impact on you? And he was like, no, I'd probably take that attitude into my next pursuit. I was like, on the flip side, what if you spend the next few years obsessing over poker, trying to be the best you can be because you know that's what drives you? You wake up in the morning because being the best is what gets you going. What if the next few years you focus only on trying to be the best? Not even about the money. The money doesn't motivate you right now. All you focus on being the best. Do you think, even if you didn't make money or didn't have much success in poker, do you think that mindset, that approach would set you up for your film school, for your next avenue? And he was like, yeah, and he started to get excited. So I got him to take action in that moment. I knew his motivational drive wasn't money, it was trying to be the best. And I got him to write down what being the best means to him, all the exact criteria of being the best. And then I told him to write down why it's important. So what it looks like, characteristics, and why that's so important, why it's going to change his life. Got him to print it off and stick it on his wall above his screens. So when he's playing poker, you could see it every single moment of every day. That changed absolutely everything. His motivation went from like 0 to 100 real quick, and now he was back in touch with his motivation. So what you got to realize is, in poker, your motives change over time. So if you get into poker with very extrinsic motivations, like I want to make money, I want to have success, I want to have achievements, at some point you'll either achieve those and be like, okay, what next? Or you'll realize those don't keep you going. So you need to understand what is it that got you into sport in the first place besides the extrinsic, and how can you get a very deep intrinsic motivation to want to be better. So if you can find one like he did where it was, I want to be the best, I want to be the best version of myself, I want to improve, I want to learn, these motives never run out. These motives will fuel you for your whole life, because you can't win that game. Even if you were the best in the world, you can get better. There's many people who are the best in the world at what they do. Those are the guys who are relentless. They keep going. Why? Because it's a fuel source that never ends. So for you, if you're lacking motivation right now, what's probably happened is you've been sucked too far into extrinsic motives. You've probably been trapping yourself by thinking that you have to play poker. One of the things you can do to free yourself is to go, you know what, I got choices. I'm playing poker because I want to. If I don't want to, at any time you don't want to be playing poker because you're not enjoying it, it's not fulfilling you, you can walk away. Like, I really want that one to hammer home. And the second one is to get in touch with what your core motivational drive is. I call it, your motivational drive is basically the thing that entices you, that really gets you energized. You wake up in the morning and it excites you. For some people, that is money. Like, there is people who can, like, literally, the more money they get, the better, the more motivated they feel. A lot of people, that's not the right motive. It doesn't work for long enough. And like I've talked about in a previous video, when you're motivated by money, basically when you have a downswing or break even stretch, it really boosts your confidence, because you feel like you're not as good as you want to be, you feel like you're not making progress. So for most people, money is a very bad long-term motive. So for you, if you're lacking motivation right now, stop yourself and go, what is it that motivates you as a person? What is it that really fuels you? When you did enjoy poker, what was different? How can you get that attention and that kind of curiosity for the game back? And often, for many players, it's wanting to reach their full potential, it's wanting to create freedom in their lives, it's wanting to learn, to solve problems, and to get better. If you can tap into that, if that becomes a part of you, and you can remember parts of your childhood or previously in your life when that was apparent and that fueled you, boom, tap back into that. Remember, that's the most important thing, and that's going to fuel your motivation long term. Now, if any of you guys are interested in understanding more about your mindset and what level your mindset is currently right now, I put together a free quiz in the description, which you guys can click on, answer a series of questions, and it will give you a report on what your current mindset level is right now and what you can do to improve your mindset going forward. So thanks so much for this, guys. I hope you got a lot of value from it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button before you go. There's going to be plenty more coming from me very soon.